My phone is my bank.
Sampath Mobile Banking. Convenient, easy, saves time. Sampath Bank, we present your future.
A very good afternoon to you. You're with News First. This is your lunch primetime news bulletin. Before we head into the stories in detail, let's take a look at the headlines. Vehicle with fake number plates carrying posters of Veerakumara Disanayaka seized. Janaka Bandara Tennakone announces resignation. Fox Hill Green launched India Talava, supported by Newsfirst and Eslon. NASA says new Earth-like planet discovered using Kepler Space Telescope.
Absolute Politics. Face the Nation, Friday 7:30 p.m. This First in Focus, Sunday at 9:30 p.m. Hot Seat, Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Newsline, weekdays at 7 a.m. On MTV. News First, your election headquarters.
On to those stories in detail. A pickup truck which used a fake number plate indicating it belongs to the Sri Lanka Army was seized by the police in Capitol Lab for transporting election posters. Police media spokesperson ASP Ruwan Gunasekara speaking to News First said that posters of former Deputy Minister and the UPFA Anuradhapura district candidate Veerakumara Disanayaka were thus being transported. Now we have the details of this story coming to you in a little while. At a press conference convened in Dambulla, Janaka Bandara Tennakone today announced that he would resign from his ministerial portfolio. He had drafted his letter of resignation in a manner of poem. We hope that the Sri Lanka Freedom Party Central Working Committee would request us to step down, but it seems that would not take place. Therefore, as a member of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, I have decided to step down from my position. I have drafted the letter, and once the President accepts it, my job is done. I believe that anyone with self-respect would not continue to hold any position in the government. Here are some of the views expressed by party leaders of leading political parties in the political arena. We are elected to Parliament in order to develop the country and not to yell or swindle money. A former MP says that he will run away with the mace. We must change the country and we must think about the country. We can have different ideologies. I'm not saying no to that. If we meet in Parliament in peace, discuss in peace, and if we adjourn in peace, we can solve the problems in the country. That is why we are asking for your vote. If we have a friend residing in Switzerland, we would ask him to bring us a watch or some chocolates. If we have a friend in Italy, we would tell him to bring us a pair of shoes. If a friend lives in France, we would ask him to bring us a bottle of perfume. If it's a friend in Netherlands, Denmark or Australia, those countries have fruits, vegetables and poultry products, we would at least ask him to bring us a piece of cheese. What will a foreigner who is maybe in the Middle East ask for from his Sri Lankan friend? We must be ashamed of the state the country has been brought to by its rulers. Well, as promised, a pickup which used fake number plates indicating it belongs to the Sri Lanka Army was seized by the police in Capitol Lab for transporting election posters. Police media spokesperson SP Ruwan Gunasekara speaking to News First said that posters of former Deputy Minister and the UPFA Anuradhapura district candidate Veerakumara Disanayaka were thus being transported. Around 2:30 in the morning, we arrested two individuals who were illegally pasting posters with more than 4,500 posters and a cab, and it was seized by the police. The number plate of the cab has been altered and was using a fake number plate when it was seized. The suspects are to be produced before the Capitol Lab magistrate. Meanwhile, it has been decided that the distribution of applications for the ballot papers for the parliamentary elections will commence on the 30th of July. 15,044,491 ballot papers have been printed and they will be handed over to the Postal Department on the 29th of July. Postmaster Rohan Abheratna said that the distribution of ballot papers will commence on the 30th of July. Steps have been taken to distribute the packets of postal vote applications to the Postal Department today. There are only 24 days more for the August polls. Here's a look at some of the views that were expressed in the political arena.
It appears that former President Mahinda Rajapaksa is attempting to rise again. For the first time in the history of this country, an executive president was defeated. Rather than being humble and accepting defeat and leave, he is attempting to divide the people again. If you can produce the golden stallion of Namal in quotes, we would concede. If theft had taken place, it needs to be proven. We can expose the thefts committed by Ranil Wickremesinghe and Ravi Karunanayaka, even if there were 100 enjoining orders. What will be created is a government that will protect the individual who works hard for a day's meal. This government will not include the corrupt and intimidators. This government will not be one that would exert pressure on the people. This will be a government that would create a civilized and economical country for the people.
State vehicles mean the vehicles of the UNP, SLFP and the JVP. The vehicles that taxes were paid for by all parties are being used by the UNP for their election. In order to hide that shame, they say that they will make the payment of 100,000 rupees. That was the same thing that the alliance government did using the SLTB buses. The 100 days was a list of promises. It was said that gold that was pawned will be returned without an interest. Pregnant women were told that they will be given 20,000 rupees, but were only given 2,000 rupees. We too gave it.
During
the 100 days, we wanted to provide the people with the facilities. Prices of goods were not reduced for years. The Rajapaksa regime failed to do it. But in days, we reduced the prices of almost 15 different items. We have reduced the expenditure and theft at ministries and directed politics on a different path. The Elections Commissioner has had us bound and thrown us in the pool, asking us to swim. We cannot go canvassing and paste posters. We cannot even have meetings. What are we to do? Nishanta Muthu Hettigama now says that they cannot paste posters and erect cutouts. That is because the police removes them. What is the use of a police that remains idle and allows the people to do whatever they please? Still on local news, 6 people have been injured in an accident that took place in Shannon Junction in Hatton. The accident occurred when a bus flying from Hatton to Valioya collided onto a fuel bowser travelling from Colombo to Kotagala. Our correspondent said that 4 persons travelling in the bus and the driver of the fuel bowser sustained injuries and have been admitted to the Wattavala District Hospital. A number of programs were organized in schools in line with the National Anti-Drug Drive organized by the Presidential Secretariat and the MTV-MBC Media Network.
An art competition was held at the Samudra Devi Girls College in Katugastoda with the aim of raising awareness among the students on the ill effects of drug use. Meanwhile, the students of Siddhartha College, Baligama Matara were also informed of the ill effects of using drugs. An art competition was also organized at the Royal College, Kurunegala.
On to one of our local headline stories, the Fox Hill Green Walk and Reforestation Project commenced in Diathalawa today. The Green Initiative is organized by the Security Force Headquarters Central and is sponsored by Newsfirst and Lanka PLC.
The reforestation project was organized in order to protect the Narekhanda area in Diathalawa, which is rich in natural diversity. A Fox Hill Green Walk was also organized in line with this initiative. The initiative was launched under the auspices of Security Force Headquarters Central Commander Major General Sumedha Pereira. The reforestation project is taking place with the support of state agencies, school children and tri-service personnel. The inauguration ceremony took place amidst the presence of executive officers from the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited.
Nadi lesa maru kata reka urumaya මේ තාක්කල් හමුදාවට නායකත්වයේ දීම සඳහා
Thousands of officers who have led the armed forces received their training at this very premises. If one asks us, what is the university we attended for our military training, we recall these premises. However, over the past, of the 5,000 acres of land that was given to us, only 2,300 acres remain. The rest was lost as a result of illegal settlers and various other reasons. We held a discussion as to how we can protect this area for the future leaders and military officers. That is how we launched this green project.
ආරක්ෂා කරගන්නේ කියන කතාවේදී තමයි මේක සංරක්ෂණය කිරීමේ මේ කර්තව්‍ය අපි පටන් ගන්න තීරණය කරුවා.
ඔයකුත් ව්‍යාපෘති කරනකොට ඒවා ආරම්භ කරනවා. හැබැයි ඒවා දිගින් දිගට පවත්වාගෙන යන්නේ නැහැ.
When there is a project, there is a start. However, there is no continuation. We need to have a program to nurture these saplings that we plant until they become trees of great size. We must not limit this reforestation program only to Fox Hill. We need to take this program national. This will benefit the future generations in a great way.
අපත් සමග එකතු වන්නට කියලා ඉදිරියේදී මම හිතන්නේ මෙය දැවැන්ත සත්කාරයක් වේවි අපේ අනාගත දුවදරුවන්ට.
දැක්කා පහුගිය වසර කිහිපය පුරා ශ්‍රී ලංකාව
Over the years, we saw Sri Lanka suffering from the drought. We understood that we need to protect the water. If water is to be preserved, the forests need to be protected. We cannot protect water when there is deforestation taking place. News was reported on deforestation over the past. News was reported on this strongly because we understood the importance of protecting the water resources. No matter what task we have gone beyond news reporting and come forward to support this initiative.
එවැනි කාර්යයකදී මොනතරම් වැඩ කටයුතු තිබ්බත් ප්‍රවෘත්ති වාර්තා කරමින් ඔබට ගිහිල්ලා මේ කටයුත්තට උපකාර කරන්නට මේ කටයුත්තට සහාය වන්නට අපි ඉදිරිපත් වුණා.
Under the first phase, indigenous and fruit plants were planted in the range with the participation of the environment concerned gathering.
Well, with that, we wrap up this edition of Lunch Primetime News. Your next news update comes your way next hour. For the News First team, I'm Saturang Hapuarachi.